Hi, it's Rory from CounsellingTutor.com, and in this presentation I'm going to ask the question, why is it important and relevant to undertake and view research in the world of counselling psychotherapy? So without further delay, let's go on to the first slide and get started. Okay, so let's start by looking at the importance of research in counselling and psychotherapy. Well, it helps improve and develop new methods of healthcare. Through the years, research has informed us of which modality of therapy may be more useful and more suitable for certain presenting issues that clients have. It helps educate practitioners as part of continual professional development. There's an expectation that anybody who practices continues to professionally learn and understand new ideas within counselling and psychotherapy. So research is an important part of that. It informs our own knowledge and our ability to be wider read and more understanding practitioners. It also allows us to work within our competence. The importance of research here is that if we know that our modality of therapy may not work for some presenting issues, then the ethical thing would be to make a referral. It helps support relevant referrals. So if we have a client who is outside our area of competence, say one's practicing person-centered therapy, get a client who's clearly unwell with psychosis or bipolar, hearing voices, or maybe a client who's got a difficulty with substance misuse, research and understanding the best possible pathway to support that client's a really good thing, and you can make an ethical and relevant referral so the client gets the best possible service and help in the best possible time. It helps counsellors understand the context of clients' distress. Without understanding what contributes to a client's distress, what outside factors may impact on a client, then it can sometimes be hard to help them. So having a context of why someone's distressed is really, really important. And an example of that may very well be around bereavement. Understanding how bereavement affects someone and the different forms of bereavement through research gives you an ability to be able to work more effectively with a client and be more understanding and empathic of their difficulties. And it also shows a commitment to ethical practice. If you're undertaking research or reviewing research, then almost certainly you're going to be an ethical practitioner, because you're taking the time to update your knowledge and looking at research to make sure that you're working in a way that gives the best possible care to the clients that you work with. So let's have a look at the relevance of research in counselling and psychotherapy. So let's have a look at the relevance. We've had a look at why it's important. Let's have a look at why it's relevant. Well, there's a link to employability. Agencies may ask at interview, how do you know your modality of therapy works? Now, if you've got research evidence, or you can draw on research, you can make a valid opinion and put your case forward. And with job interviews, sometimes they can be a little bit combative, and agencies may want value for money. They may want, I'm sure they will do, want their clients to have the best possible service. So it's very possible at interview you have to justify your mode of therapy. It helps practitioners clarify how theory works in practice. There's been huge amounts of writing about theory, and if I pick just one, transference, reading it in a book is completely different to experiencing it in practice. And having some research and a practitioner talking about and giving examples of what transference looks like really does clarify the theory to practice. So it helps practitioners clarify how the theory works. Evidence-based practice is considered a standard approach amongst healthcare professionals. So if you're working in, say, the NHS or with a doctor or with any other health professional, they will come from a position of evidence-based practice. So you are standing shoulder to shoulder with your colleagues, and if you're asked about the intervention you're using, you can make a ethical and educated response and say that actually with the client group I'm working with, this mode of therapy is considered effective and works with clients. Agencies may very well ask a counsellor to review how effective the counselling service is as evidence for commissioners or funders. So when you've got your qualification, certainly if you've done master's level work, it's very possible that as you join the agency, your agency may very well ask you to undertake research to evidence how effective the counselling service is for commissioners. Now, those are people who effectively fund agencies, spend government money to set up charitable agencies. So it's very possible that you might be asked to do research as a qualified counsellor working for an agency. The public expect that all healthcare is research, so they can have an expectation it may be beneficial. There's really no other activity in the world that the public don't expect to be researched. And an example of that is if you buy a car, there's an expectation that it's been tested for crashing and that it's going to be safe. And if you buy a kettle, there's an expectation that that's going to be safe. You're not going to get electrocuted. So the public are used to having services and products that have been researched. So that's no different really to counselling and psychotherapy. The public have an expectation that what they're paying for or what they're undertaking has a chance of being beneficial. And that's becoming more prevalent now. The public are becoming more aware of their consumer rights as well as the right to have a high quality service. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that presentation. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and why not put some comments downstairs? We'd love to hear your comments. And as always, thank you for watching.